Atlanta Motor Speedway, located about 20 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia. has come a very long way from the first race held in 1960 and won by NASCAR legend Fireball Roberts, who also took pole at 133 miles an hour. Spectators from that day who watched from one small grandstand or on blankets spread out on an adjacent dirt bank wouldn't begin to recognize the facility today, even down to the name. Dubbed Atlanta International Raceway when it opened, the track struggled financially through the 1960s and 70s before finding a degree of stability in the 80s. Future governor, U.S. President Jimmy Carter briefly worked as a ticket seller on race weekends in the 1960s. Real change came following Bruton Smith's purchase of the facility in 1990, with the culmination of the transformation of Atlanta International Speedway occurring in 1997, with the extensive reconfiguration that switched front and back straightaways and added a double dogleg in the new front straightaway. In the 7 intervening years, new grandstands sprouted almost every year, and a luxury 9-story Atlanta has been a staple on the NASCAR calendar for decades, and tonight, it's the LSR Cup Series Hotlanta 125, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway for tonight's Hotlanta 125 Lonestar Racing Cup Series penultimate race. Season winding down here as, well, let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 70-degree air temperature, 55% humidity, 125 laps the race distance here tonight. Track temperature, 106 degrees. Checking in on practice, it's just about wrapped up here. A couple of minutes remain. Drew Blaze is the fastest. Will Hewitt, Mark Collins, Tommy Kohick, Brandon Domain, the top 5. Some pretty tight times here. Going to see some drafting come into play. Of course, we are here at the old configuration of Atlanta Motor Speedway. The tire shredder, as some call it. Not so much the high-banked super speedway style racing you can see the new configuration, but a lot of guys like this because it really throws that tire save strategy into the mix. Before practice wraps up here, let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Drew Blaze, of course, atop of those standings, 810 points, ahead of Jason Blaney at 759, then Chris Goins third at 749, Corey Deal, PJ Cox rounding out the top 5. Blaze probably in a little bit of cruise control as the season starts to wind down. He does have a pretty healthy lead. Pretty sure himself and one other will need to start from the rear, though. I saw it earlier, but Drew Blaze, one of them for sure that's going to have to go to the rear. Win penalty. There was one other. I think it might be Jason Blaney, but I can't find it anywhere in the listing anymore to confirm that. So if you see Blaney go to the back, that's why. Practice wrapping up here at Atlanta. In fact, it's over. We're going to jump right into qualifying. 2 laps, 5 minutes to set the field. Looks like Tommy Kohick's the first to roll. Tommy gently taking his time to exit pit lane here. The flat on pit exit could be a little treacherous, especially on cold tires. Derek Welch in the stream chat. Welcome back, Steve. Do appreciate that. Little traveling for work this week. Kind of put a kink in the plans for broadcasting, unfortunately. Missed only a couple races. Lucky to be back here tonight for this one. So you're going to see broadcast tomorrow night and Saturday. Tape delay for Dumb Thumb's Racing League season finale as Kohik goes 31-34. And then we've got the season opener at Daytona. It's for the Downrange Transport Premier Series. Drew Blaze ran a 31:51 first lap, not as quick as Kohik. Let's see if he can pick it up here on lap 2. He does just that. 30.99 goes Drew Blaze, puts him on top of the board. Provisional pole. Brandon Domain, lap 1 to 31:17. Does he stay in the throttle here to pick it up? Maybe he's got a shot at the pole. Tell you, 31 flat if you round up. Pretty stout. Got 30.99, looks better. Again, practice results. Blaze ran a 30.94. Domain runs a little bit quicker, though. 31.04, not enough to knock Blaze off the top spot. Pretty solid lap. Sean Roberts has finished up his time, it appears. Derek Welch finished up, too. 31.107, third quick so far. Not for long, though, Chris Goins. His first lap's a 31.103. Goins across the stripe here. P2, 31.036. We saw it in practice. We're seeing it now. Very close lap times here in qualifying. Will Hewitt at 31.24 the first lap. Hewitt through 3 and 4 here. Let's see what kind of time he can lock in. Where does he land? Doesn't qualify for the lap. I don't know if he had an incident there, got the fence, but Corey Deal out of 4. Across the line. Same situation. Alfie Charon on track. 30 seconds left in the session. 31.51 his first time by. Charon across the line. There we go. Top 10, 31.262 for Alfie Charon. Puts it P9. A couple of drivers opting not to take a time thus far. Ken Blackburn, Jonathan Arnn. They're going to opt to start from the back. With that, we're going to step aside briefly. We'll be right back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight's Hot Atlanta 125. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.995. It was that close. Only driver below at 31 seconds. It's Drew Blaze. Outside front row, he's really come along here in the latter stages of this season. It's Chris Goins. Row number 2, Brandon Domain in the 60 starts third. Derek Welch will roll from the 4th position. Mark Collins in the 5th spot. Tommy Kohik is going to roll from P6. Starting 7th, Sean Roberts in the 66 Shenandoah Shine machine. Will Hewitt is going to start P8. Starting 9th, it's the number 78 Collar Boys Racing Alfie Charon Jr. Tim Gummermuth starts 10th. PJ Cox rolls off from the 11th starting position. Corey Deal with HBR TV is going to start in the 12th position. Starting 13th, Ken Couch in the 08. Chris Klein rolls from P14. 15th goes to Jarrett Woodard. 16th, Ken Blackburn. 17 starters, Jonathan Arnn, shotgun on the field here this afternoon. It's your starting grid. We're going to be green next time by, so don't go anywhere, and if you do, hurry back. Again, taking a look at the race info for tonight. Race distance, 125 laps. Track temperature now 115 degrees. And a reminder, we are on the old racing surface here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so tires could become a premium, a topic of conversation, but who knows? Maybe this next-gen Cup car holds off here. We didn't really see these cars run at the old layout, the old surface. It's only been on that super speedway style. Maybe we'll see some two-tire strategies here today. Maybe not. Maybe another caution-free race. We'll see. Got that S4 guy in the stream chat already. Texas, steers and race cars. Good call.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're racing and here in Atlanta. Field down into turn number 3 already. Again, Drew Blaze had to go to the rear or start from the pits. 100% not sure there, but in the battle for the lead, it's Brandon Domain with Chris Goins to the outside. Off of turn number 2 into the dog leg. Chris Goins is going to lead lap number 1. Domain still fighting down low side, trying to take that spot away and put the nose of his machine out in the lead. Matt Sisler in the stream chat. This should be interesting. Hello, Steve and everyone. Thanks, Matt, for checking in. Domain tucks in behind Chris Goins. Goins puts about 3.5 car lengths on the number 60. Gotta wonder, though, again, Chris Goins out in front here. It's not a surprise. All of a sudden, we've got a timing and scoring issue. Seems to have corrected itself. Goins back to the point. But I wonder if Chris is pushing too hard too early here. Again, this is very abrasive racing surface, much like the Darlington of old. Guys wouldn't even roll the tires down pit lane just to get them to the pit box for fear of taking a lap or two off of them. Derek Welch making the move quickly past Brandon Domain. He takes over the second spot. Derek, not a huge fan of this next-gen Cup car. Thinks he's Not the greatest at it, but man, he's been running out here to kind of help himself in his own Next Gen Cup League. It's starting to pay off as he's into that second position early. We have certainly seen his ability level get better and better in this car as this season has progressed. Corey Deal, Tim Dummermuth battling for position. This is back for the 10th spot. Corey Deal, the number 9, the yellow, black, and purple machine. Underneath the 86, Tim Dummermuth. He's clear. Corey Deal up into the 10th spot. He's up 2 positions already. Chris Klein's going to try and take advantage. He's also to the inside. Got to wonder if Dummermuth is just being overly cautious here with the tire strategy, but then again, maybe not. He's got it figured out, and everybody else is being too aggressive. It's the old Cole Trickle line. Harry, I'm not going faster. Everybody else is going slower. Yeah, I'm that old. Another battle for position. Tommy Kohik and Will Hewitt. Hewitt down low in the number 33. Kohik, the double zero monster energy machine, loses that spot now to Will Hewitt. Hewitt up to P6. Impressive run thus far for Alfie Sharon, just a couple of spots ahead of Hewitt. Alfie's up 5 spots, started in P9, runs in the 4th position, about 5-6 car lengths off the back bumper of Brandon Domain. Chris Goins continues to lead over Derek Welch and Brandon Domain. 4th is Alfie Charon. 5th position now belongs to Mark Collins. We saw him make that pass moments ago on Tommy Kohik. He's also made short work of Will Hewitt. Hewitt trying to take that spot back from Mark Collins. To the inside. Hewitt takes the position back. Hewitt must have slipped a bit for Collins to get by that quickly and easily, as he's very prompt to take the position back away. Top 5 now, Goins, Welch, Domain, Sharon, Hewitt. Collins now back to P6. Checking on Drew Blaze. Remember, he had to start, I think, from pit lane was his win penalty. Puts him way to the back of this pack. 14th position he runs currently, so he's already made up some spots. Now, I remember last race, I think we went caution free. That's certainly not going to be helpful for Drew Blaze. We got a battle for the lead here. Chris Goins might be in trouble. Trying to save the car, slides up the racetrack. Still no caution. Still trying to save the car. I don't know if he got the fence or not, but it seemed to be trying to save that machine all the way down the back straightaway. We stay under the green flag. Goins gets back to the power here. Let's take a look, see what happened with Chris Goins. Oh, this is lap 1. Well, that's not it. Have to do it the old-fashioned way and rewind it because we did not get the yellow there. We saw him lose it in practice like this as well, but watch it here from the blimp. Just loses the rear end of the car. Kind of a bit of a tank slap. Trying to chase it up the racetrack, down the backstretch. Everybody's going high and low, trying to avoid. Swatting flies inside that race car. A masterful save. Tough break, though. Goes from leading this race to last. Just like that, and no caution to help him out. So Derek Welch now takes over the top spot after the issue with Chris Goins. Second place, Brandon Domain, Alfie Charon up into P3. Will Hewitt, Mark Collins now your top 5. Matt Sisler says, nice save from him. These next gens are very tricky to catch when they break loose. Good on him to keep it out of the wall. I have to agree, and I almost have to liken them to, I guess you could kind of say it's like the Indy car. You know, they've got a real wide tire, somewhat low profile, and they hold until they don't. All of a sudden that thing breaks loose, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. The older tire, or the current Xfinity and Truck Series tire, there's a taller sidewall, so there's a little more flex in those tires, so you can kind of lean on the tire in the corners, kind of pitch your right rear out, get a little side force with the aerodynamic advantage. With these cars, it's not as prevalent. They kind of break loose right on the edge of that a lot quicker, and it's hard to save. Again, a lot like the Indy car. Got that S4 guy still in the chat, though. He says, holy Oreos, nice save, Goins. Either Millet's on a lunch break over at the jail. If he's not, he should jump up into the booth with me. Just saying. Derek Welch with a half-second advantage over Brandon Domain. Domain's last lap, though, was about a half-tenth quicker than Welch, a 31.58. This time it's switched to 31.73 for Welch and a 77 for Domain. Mark Collins running just ahead of Ken Couch here. That's the battle for the 8th position. Collins, though, he's got his sights set on P.J. Cox for P7. Hate to say it, I know it's early, and I might curse the whole thing here, but the way this thing is shaping up this early on, it almost looks like we may be getting ready for another caution-free race. Should be a bad day for Chris Goins and Drew Blaze, that's for sure. Blaze, though, still working his way through the field. He's already up to 12th. With that said, we're going to jump out and get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 29 laps in, watching a battle with Will Hewitt and PJ Cox. Mark Collins rolling into this as well, trying to take advantage of the battle. This all for the 5th position. Oh, Hewitt gets a piece of the wall off turn 2. That's going to make that easy for the 05. Mark Collins is going to go on by as well, move Will Hewitt back to P7. And we do have a caution. We don't know why, but oh, Chris Gones in trouble again. Gones facing the wrong way at the backstretch just before turn 3. Might have had a very similar incident off of 2. He's got some damage, it looks like. That or just the tires are too wore out. Let's get a look at it, see what happened off of turn number 2. Oh, contact with Sean Roberts. Again, tried to save it again. It was very similar to the previous one, except he does get a small piece of the wall, locks her down the backstretch. Caution does come out this time. So first caution of the night for Chris Gones. Should have been the second, really, for the same driver, but nevertheless, it is our first. It's going to get everybody grouped back up. It's going to be a big advantage here for Drew Blaze. It's actually going to help Chris Gones too, even though he was involved in it. So again, Atlanta Motor Speedway, tire shredder. First caution, 30-some laps in. Going to see everybody down pit lane here, and I'm going to guess everyone's going to take 4. I don't see anybody opting for just 2. We might see something that brazen later on in this race, someone trying to gamble, but right now I think the call is going to be 4 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel for everybody down pit lane. Domain gets into the pit box. Derek Welch as well. Mark Collins behind the 1. The 0-1, that is. The 1 coming through that first pit box. That's Drew Blaze. More tires and fuel for all. Drew Blaze, also 4 tires. On and away. Chris Goins did unfortunately lose a lap during that. So Chris Goins down pit lane now. He's going to get his opportunity to pit. Like I said, it did lose the lap, I believe, during that second spin and slight contact with the wall. Still not out of it. Certainly not going to burn a fast repair for the damage that he had, if there really was any. Was not significant contact to the outside wall. These next-gen Cup cars have certainly shown a propensity to bounce back after any kind of incident, much like the old Xfinity car, or really the current Xfinity car, the composite bodies. Sisler in the chat says it was close. If he could have got it going about 2 seconds sooner, he would have been okay. Zach Millett in the booth. What's going on, Zach?
Boy, I'm out of breath, man. That's a long way up here. No wonder you can see everything.
Yeah, it's a big tower.
I had to stop at the ATM, get some money to deposit in the Right Turn Racing account for damage repair. That took a little bit, too.
Well, he didn't hit a whole lot, or much. That hard, really.
Get him the better tires, at least.
Yeah, sticker tires. Special tires.
Real special tires.
Yeah. Lap 33, still under the caution flag. Pace car lights are out. Go back to the green flag the next time by. But those of you just joining us, we now have Zach Millett in the broadcast booth, who's lurking in the stream chat, thinking that we had a race at Texas tonight. But nope, wrong part of the country. We're here in Atlanta.
Yeah, it explains why I was so late. It's pretty far away. And then I had to go right past the new Atlanta to get to the old Atlanta, so I'm all confused.
You'll be all right.
You know something pretty interesting, Steve? I did stop in and talk to Goins real quick before I jumped in here, and he said after that first time getting loose, there's just nowhere on this track to cool the tires off. He was basically battling it from that moment on.
Yeah, and you've made note of that, too, at some of these tracks that are similar to this, Darlington, Texas Motor Speedway, even some of the road courses, at least in this next-gen cars, once you get them hot, there's really not a whole lot you can do to cool them down. Race car's off. Green flag in the air. Domain with a good jump over Corey Deal and Derek Welch. Corey Deal must have had on well of a pit stop. He's up 10 spots. I don't think he was that close to the front before, but started near the back. That's Sisler in the stream chat. Says, basically, Millett was Michael Waltrip in the old Napa commercial. I'm at the wrong track. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Brandon Domain out to a pretty good lead already here just off the restart. 1 lap ago. Derek Welch running in P2. Corey Deal in third. Welch is showing a lot of pace here tonight. So has Will Hewitt. See what he can do here with the 9 off of turn number 2. He's right there. Takes a peek to the inside. Corey not going to fight him here. He lets 2 go by. Looks like it's going to be Hewitt and Sharon both going to make the pass on the 9. PJ Cox, Drew Blaze closing in.
Yeah, I think the 9's saving stuff here. I think he's going to be racing for the big picture here.
Yeah, Corey has definitely shown an ability to take care of his stuff. But, I mean, you look at Drew Blaze going on by. He's a guy that's usually pretty good at saving as well. Doesn't look like he's in save mode right now. Had to go to the back, start from the pits for this race, the win penalty. Got lucky with the caution to get caught back up. He was certainly hoping for that.
Yeah, it works out really well for him.
So, Zach, we didn't get to talk shop a little bit before this race really got underway, but what are the keys to places like this that are really hard on tires, super abrasive surface? We're here in the midday, sun beating down on the racetrack. Last I looked, it was 115-degree track temp. I mean, how do you work around that?
Man, I mean, I hate to beat the obvious, but I mean, tires. I mean, the easier you go, the less you turn that wheel, the better off you're going to be in 20, 30, 40 laps. And if you just go out there and push like crazy, man, you're going to suffer quick. It's going to be tough.
Speaking of pushing, Will Hewitt already up into P2 here, and he is slipping and sliding all over the racetrack. That battle has heated up big time between himself and Derek Welch. Welch crosses over, back to the bottom in 3. Alfie Cherenski's going to sit back here and watch this thing develop.
Paint scheme you rocking here, Alfie? We got like a Rowdy Racing type car? What do we got?
Got the Rowdy Energy colors on board tonight.
Wow. New sponsor. Joins HBR and then gets sponsored immediately. That's a pretty good deal. I think it was to do with the nickname. You know, he called him Fluffy one time and all these sponsors came out of the woodwork.
There you go. Speaking of Fluffy, he goes to the inside. He's going to take the 3rd position from Derek Welch. Welch was able to fight with Will Hewitt there for a moment, but he's hanging on the outside of Sharon through the dog leg. So I guess there's the other question. I know at Auto Club we saw some guys opt for 2 tires, and it not only didn't slow them down, but it actually improved the handling characteristics of the race car. I know it's a totally different racing surface than Atlanta Motor Speedway, though it does have some age on it by comparison. You think anyone's going to opt for 2 tires at all tonight?
Man, I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless maybe it's like a 10-lap stint and there's caution and everybody's got a set. I don't know. I'd never take 2 tires here.
I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Some of the fastest laps last week returned with 2 tires instead of 4. I know it's a different racetrack, but you think somebody might gamble here late.
Yeah, I mean, 12th, 13th place, you know, maybe 10 laps to go. Why not? You might as well do it.
Top 5, Brandon Domain, Will Hewitt, Alfie Cherin, Derek Welch, and Drew Blaze. Blaze, your pole winner tonight, had to start from pit lane as part of the win penalty for this series. Got lucky with the caution, gets caught up, gets pit stops under the yellow flag instead of full course green flag racing. Sits in the 5th position here, quite a ways back from Derek Welch as there's Alfie Cherin making a move here for the 2nd spot. Will Hewitt now topside, Alfie on the bottom. Alfie, not a whole lot of room, but he slides up the racetrack. He was clear. Brandon Domain's loving this, though. He's got a 1.1 second advantage back to P2. Brandon Domain. Oh, Will Hewitt. Little tank slap. Puts the right sides in the wall. Pancakes it. We saw that tank slap happen earlier on in the race as well. He was able to save it. But that's the 2nd time we've seen him get the right sides into the safer barrier off of turn number 2. Doesn't look like it's damaged terribly. Got lucky with that one.
That's a good thing these cars are so tough.
I will say that I am very impressed with Brandon Domain. It's a name that I recognize mainly from the Lonestar Racing GT3 series. He's running a lot of the road course stuff over there, and he says he's just kind of getting new and getting used to this oval racing thing. Last couple of races, he's been a contender at the front of the field, and as you see, he's out front here leading. Started third. He's driving away from everybody else.
Get these road guys, Steve. Get them start getting into oval racing. That's where a lot of speed comes from. Look at Terry. I mean, he's killer at anything road.
Terry Crouch can drive anything.
That's true too. Yeah, he's an amazing driver. But I love that car too. The Sour Patch Ghost drink. God, it's good.
You and your energy drinks, man. I can't do the Ghost energy drinks. I don't know which one I had in the Glen last year, but it was too much.
Yeah, the sour gets me, but not too bad.
Domain still stretching it out here. It's now 1.3 over Alfie Charon as these three drivers still tucked tight within a battle. Charon, Hewitt, and Welch. Hewitt not giving up an inch here, but I really think Hewitt's pushing too hard for this stage of the race. It's just my opinion, but he's always got pace no matter where we go. Sometimes pace is your enemy, at least at places like this.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, almost contact with Hewitt and Welch. Welch slides up the racetrack. Hewitt goes to the bottom. Oh, another big wiggle for the 33. He's trying hard to maintain that spot. Got another battle here. Corey Deal to the inside of Drew Blaze. This is for the 5th position. Deal goes back to the bottom. We said it a couple of laps ago, probably 6 or 7 now. Drew Blaze making the move around Corey Deal. Well, now it's swapped back around. Millett had said that it seems Corey might be saving his stuff. Well, maybe he was for the first 10 laps, but not anymore.
Yeah, look at the ground. He kind of lost the leaders by taking care of his stuff. Just under 5 seconds. It's incredible.
Still wouldn't count Drew Blaze out of this, though. He's got more than 1 or 2 tricks up his sleeve.
That's the thing about Drew Blaze. You know he's going to save his stuff, but the capabilities of him really saving his tires, they're crazy. If you're out there pushing as hard as you can, all of a sudden he fly past you half a second faster.
Oh, we got trouble.
Ooh.
Ken Couch in front of Mark Collins. No, it is Mark Collins. Contact was made. Caution does not come out. Man, it should have 2 cars involved as they continue to bang fenders and bumpers, and they rub across the safer barrier. No yellow. Collins still in the fence. He can't get to pit lane. Couch is able to get down.
That's awful luck
Yeah,
for him.
there needs to be a yellow here. I cannot believe iRacing hasn't thrown one yet. Matt Sisler makes a good point in the stream chat, too. He says, Battle of the Energy Drinks, P1 and 2. You got Brandon Domain and the Ghost Energy, and you got Alfie Charon with the Rowdy Energy.
I haven't tried the Rowdy, but try to get Alfie to send us a couple plaques of them, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Then you got the Monster Energy one, Tommy Cullig.
Oh, yeah, that's the best one.
It is pretty
Mando
good.
Loco. I'm pulling for that car every week.
Mark Collins finally making it to pit lane here. Again, no caution coming out. Tough break for the 45. Mark Collins finally getting into pit lane. No, he's finally done with pit lane. He uses his fast repair. Looks like Ken Couch was there a little bit longer. He was there that whole lap. I don't know if he didn't have the fast repair checked. If he didn't want to burn it so soon, but he's going to be down a couple of laps, it looks like. 3 to be exact. Collins now down 2. Chris Goins only 1 lap down.
I know Chris Goins definitely wanted that caution to fly.
Oh, he almost got one again here. 86 of Dummermuth going up the racetrack right in front of the 28. Gomes just has to kind of ride around here, take care of his stuff. I see he's running the high lane here. That's probably the best option for him, given that that car seems to be a bit loose. He gets that caution. Get the lucky dog, get back in the lead lap. He's still got a chance at this thing. He's got the pace. Well, 55 laps in here. We're going to take another HPR-TV side-by-side break. Trying to get this one out of the way before we happen to get to green flag pit stops. Going to be coming soon. Stay with us. You won't miss a thing.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Speedway just watched an incredible save from the 33 of Will Hewitt. You might have seen it in the HBR TV side-by-side. Had that thing pitched out 30 degrees sideways, a little bit of a tank slap, and still managed to save it, but he gets into Corey Deal.
Oh, Will in the wall.
Will Hewitt, bull in the china shop. He's not going to keep it out of the wall this time.
He's not lifting either. Car looks pretty good still.
Man, oh man.
Oh, Corey Deal up ahead of him is just wobbling back and forth. He's super loose.
You know, I'm going to get some hate for this, but I'll preface it by saying I grew up an Earnhardt fan. The first name I heard in racing was Richard Petty. The second name was Dale Earnhardt. And watching Will Hewitt the last couple of years, and I say a couple of years because we watched him in the Superior Class Auto Racing Series. He's come over to Noble. He's run races over here. We've seen him race a lot. And I liken his driving style a lot to Dale Earnhardt. Okay, no, he's not a 7-time champion, whatever, but he's aggressive, but he can save a car 99% of the time when most guys can't. We saw it a couple of times. Yeah, he made some contact with Corey Deal. It's interesting. Earnhardt said it back in the day. He says, sometimes you wreck a race car, and sometimes you win races too, driving the way that he does. And that's absolutely true. Sometimes that is the case. And we'll see what happens here with Will Hewitt as this race goes on.
He is always fast, and he's always in the running for it, that's for sure.
He does tend to lose his phone, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how Dale Earnhardt was with his phone, but maybe the same.
I mean, maybe. I'm sure he had one. It's probably a brick phone, but...
Yeah, I was going to say one of a brick Nokia unbeatable phones, they'll work even if you freeze them.
So we got Albert Anderson up in the stream chat saying hello. What's up, Steve? Let's go Klein, Welch, and Collins. And no, it's not Greg Klein in the booth. It's Zach Millett in the booth.
Hello.
Chris Elliott says, Zach, take his mic away. Whose mic? Mine? Come on. You don't want to do that. So I think Will Hewitt's kind of encountering the same situation that Chris Goins dealt with. Got those tires heated up, trying to save it a couple of times now, because you've seen him, he's been pretty loose on exit a couple of times since then.
Yeah, it's probably going to affect the rest of this run until he pits.
Which I would anticipate we're going to get there pretty soon here as far as pit stop goes. I know we had the caution at lap, I think, 29 or 30. Guys came down to get pit work done at that point. We're at lap 67. Green flag came back. I think it was lap 33. 70% fuel load, so we're getting close. Tell you, Brandon Domain, though, is looking stout still. 1.3 seconds the advantage, but that is starting to shrink. Last lap for Domain at 32.56. Alfie Charon ran a 32.40. Don't know if he's going to get there before pit stops, but he's starting to close in.
Yeah, I think if that second, third, and fourth place cars stay lined up, I think eventually they'll pull him in.
But here you go. I mean, second, third, and fourth, like you said, Zach, they're kind of lined up, but Welch is not the type to lay back. And he's backing up his entry. Welch is trying to make a move on corner exit. You see, he's just going to close in the gap here a little bit. It's a car length between himself and Sharon, but Corey Deal is trying to get all over the back bumper of that 01 NTG machine. Now he gets to the outside. This is the battle for P3.
Yeah, I think Corey's going to have an incredible run off too here.
Against the wall. He's going to probably clear Derek into 3. Yes, he is. Zach, I don't know if you're watching the stream chat at all, but Albert goes, oh, I know Zach Millett. He beats me every week. Congratulations on the championship.
Well, thank you, sir. That was a great season, man. I enjoyed every second of it. It was awesome.
Those of you that follow the Numb Thumbs Racing League, tune in tomorrow night. We're going to have the tape-delayed broadcast of the championship race from Iowa Speedway. I don't even have a time just yet, but we'll get it posted as soon as we're confirmed on that. I'm going to try my best to be surprised, but it is what it is. Can't make them all. Tell you though, Brandon Domain had to love those guys battling back there for position, because the draft kind of went away for Charon, which I kind of wondered if that was going to come into play and help. But those guys that were battling behind Alfie didn't get too far away from them, but as they were side by side, he lost some ground. And of course, as soon as I start to talk about that, he gains 0.3 of a second on Domain. It's 1.2 now. Alfie only ran a 0.5 faster, no, 0.5 slower last lap, so I don't know what's going on.
timing and scoring. He's just trying to mess with us tonight.
That or I can't math.
I could never math.
On a turn 2. Domain still with the race lead. Derek Welch in the fence off of 2. Not too hard, but scrapes the right side. He's going to lose touch with Corey Deal. Corey's going to go to the high side looking for a run on Alfie Charon. Alfie stays down low. Not for now. He's going to slide up and block the run. That was a very indecisive block.
Yes, it was. It was a polite block.
That was like a Corey LaJoy block at Talladega or Atlanta or wherever it was. I think it was Atlanta. I think it was here, actually. That half block. He had a chance to win the race, and he ended up getting turned off the nose of, I think, Chase Elliott. Still watching this fight. Charon and Corey Deal. Corey started 12th here this afternoon. The P3. I started to see here with the driver that number 9 machine doesn't really qualify all that well. As Derek Welch in the fence again. Jonathan Arnn down pit lane, Ken Blackburn as well. I think these are scheduled stops. It appears to be the case. Corey going to the high side again into turn 3. Puts the power down, pulls alongside. I don't know, Zach. Is Alfie trying to let him go here? I'm not sure.
I think so. I think Alfie's recognizing that both of them might be faster if he just tucks in behind Corey here, who obviously has the pace. And maybe they can get around this leader before they have to commit the pit stops.
Yeah, they've really closed the gap here. It's just over half a second. Alfie's coming to pit lane. Oh, man.
Coming in hot.
Oh, he's in the grass.
No.
That's going to be a problem. Hopefully, he got that thing mowed down. You get the right sides in the grass. It's a lot harder to get it slowed down in time.
Hopefully, no penalty for that 78.
Yeah, we'll find out. If it stops 40 seconds longer, you'll know why.
I think those inmates outside his pit box are about to get a water bottle thrown at him if he gets a penalty.
Alfie Charon with a pit road speeding penalty.
Darn. Well, let's see how bad it's going to hurt him here. 2 laps down, Steve. Hate to it.
Tough break for Alfie Charon. Oh, almost gets into it. Was we get Drew Blaze down pit lane here. He locks him up as well. Sean Roberts, Will Hewitt, Chris Klein all in the pits. While we were watching Alfie Charon come to a stop and leave pit lane after his penalty, leaders made their pit stops. Drew Blaze in the pits right now. Domain into 3 and 4. I assume he's going to cycle back to the lead. Oh, that's out of 1 and 2. Maybe not. Drew Blaze in the pits. Domain 35, 34, 33.
He's coming.
There he is. Start finish out of the dog leg. Domain back to the point. Drew Blaze exiting pit lane. Or is he? 27.9 seconds in the pits for Drew Blaze. That's not a penalty. I don't know what caused that. Maybe he was trying to get some repairs made. Corey Deal finishes up his pit work as well.
He could have maybe double-clicked his left side tires. I've seen that happen a few times where you come in wanting to take 4 tires and
well, let's watch it again here. This is the replay. Let's see if he takes 6 sets of tires here.
Yeah, it might be real bad.
He doesn't change tires. He's just sitting there.
He doesn't have any damage.
No, he didn't have any damage. It was like a 26-second stop, 27.9 actually. Now the right side goes up.
What it was delayed. He didn't have them checked.
Now, I remember back when the next-gen car first came out, that was kind of a glitch that was happening where it would not change your tires, and then it would change the tires, but it would use all of your tires. I don't know if that's still an issue, but something went wrong there on Drew Blaze's machine. It's going to put him way in the back. I say that, he's still running 8th. Oh, no, he's in trouble, though.
Maybe they put the wrong tires on.
Still no caution.
Oh, single car. This is going to be horrible.
And that, I don't think they're running admin cautions. He's trying to go up the racetrack here to get the caution, I think, but
getting high-sided here.
We've seen multiple incidents here tonight where the caution just didn't come out. I don't think they're on admin cautions. They typically are not. But yeah, Drew Blaze in trouble here. Either a mistake or a glitch in the pits and then an incident on the racetrack. Let's take a look at it.
Ooh. Was he by himself in the drive over there, or was it contact maybe with somebody? He looked real out of shape.
I'm going to back it up here. I mean, oh, he got in the fence. Oh, yeah, him and Will Hewitt looks like. Let's watch it from here. Oh, he gets loose on the outside of Will, starts coming down as Will's coming up, tries to avoid. I don't know that they actually made contact, but Drew was driving that thing for all it was worth to not hit the 33. Sacrificed himself to get in the safer barrier, and I think the rest is history. My guess is that first impact damaged the right front. Because as we go full speed here, tries to turn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Caution's out.
Oh, now we do have a caution, though. Not sure what we got for the caution. Tommy Kohik, possibly? Yes, indeed. Facing the wrong way here in the dog leg. I was thinking, please, Lord, nobody T-bone him right now.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we got everybody through their pit cycle before this came out, so that's a plus. Let's take a look what happened here with Tommy. Oh, gets up into Ken Couch here in the dog leg. Both drivers get into the fence.
He either pushed real hard coming off 4 there, maybe he just didn't know Ken was there.
They both did a decent job, though, kind of keeping it up against the wall there. Well, second caution of the night. We're going to take a genuine commercial break here because there's no need to go side by side. I don't think anybody's going to pit. I don't think they've got enough tires really to do it. And if they do, we'll cover it when we get back. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old version, lap 90, about to be 91 here as we work our second caution. Pace car lights are off. On the one to go as the field working through 3 and 4. Brandon Domain, still your race leader. Been a dominant performance here tonight. Some drivers did opt to hit pit lane here under this caution. They were Derek Welch, Tim Dummermuth, Corey Deal, PJ Cox. Those are your lead lap drivers that took the opportunity to get some tires. They might be their last set, so we'll see how this plays out. Green flag in the air. We're back racing from Atlanta. Ken Blackburn pulls to the inside here. I don't know if he didn't get it full of fuel, but he's way off the pace on the restart. He's under power.
Might have some hardware shifter issues.
So with all that said, as far as the tire strategies are concerned, I still don't know if anybody opted for just 2 tires. Though I did see Corey Deal, his pit stop at lap 88, fuel only. Derek Welch, fuel only. PJ Cox, tough to say, 8.5 seconds, that could have been right sides.
That's interesting.
Tim Dummermuth seems to be the only driver that took 4 under that opportunity, so we'll see how that plays out. But as it is right now, Brandon Domain has been the class of the field all afternoon long, but Will Hewitt just won't go away. He's had a couple issues, almost wrecked this car multiple times. He runs in the second spot, though, and closing in on Brandon Domain.
Yeah, look who's in third place. The Tuesday with fresh tires.
Derek Welch coming through. Welch not on fresh tires. He was fuel only.
Oh, gotcha. Do they have enough gas to make it from here on?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if guys like Welch and Corey Deal are kind of thinking, hey, maybe I should pit here and top off, and that could just be because there's only 9 cars on the lead lap. Maybe they're trying to ensure that they have enough. I don't know. Need a pit reporter one of these days. Oh, trouble! Domain gets loose. I don't know if there was contact, but Hewitt gets to the outside. We just switched to the onboard shot with Domain. New leader here coming to lap 95. It's the 33 of Will Hewitt.
Hey, Steve, our pit reporter just got in the chat.
Oh, look at that. Alfie Charon running in the 10th position. First car 1 lap down. Oh, our pit reporter. No, she's our marketing director. Haley back in the stream chat. Hi, Steve and everyone. Such a long week, including the weekend. Hit that thumbs up for a great channel. Yeah, it was a long week, Haley, and this is my first race of it, so you didn't miss much. Brandon Domain fighting back here all over the back bumper of Will Hewitt out of turn 4. Now let's ride on board.
Will had a pretty big blink there. He wasn't there most of the front straightaway.
Oh, he's loose on a turn 2. You can tell he's pushing with all he's got. Still.
Yeah. Oh, that's tight.
Domain back in the throttle before Will is. On to turn 4, has to lift on exit through the dog leg.
He can make this stick.
Side by side through turns 1 and 2.
He's on the wall.
Great race here from Atlanta, lap 98 in the closing stages. You got Corey Deal in third here, a big pack of cars in behind. Derek Welch behind him. Alfie Charon in this mix, he's 10th. First car 1 lap down. Back out front, Hewitt maintains the top spot. I know Alfie's trying to get back on the lead lap here, but I don't think he needs to push as hard as he is. If I'm him, regardless of my tire strategy here, I'm going to let these guys go on by, let them go fight it out, kind of cross my fingers for a caution. Nothing against Alfie here. I just don't think he's got the pace to go up there and take that lap back all on his own. He's in a good position to get the lap back with the lucky dog if it comes out. So I just think he should ride here for now.
I think all he's doing is trying to stay ahead of that 28 car Goins. I think that's a pretty big battle to stay.
Yeah,
lucky
that's
dog
a good point too.
there.
I didn't realize that Goins was right there.
Definitely two fast cars.
Side by side from the lucky dog position, the 78 and Sharon, the white and red machine. Up top, the black and red, that's Chris Goins, the 28. Look at the advantage that Hewitt and Domain have put on the rest of the field. It's almost a full 2 seconds from Domain back. 25 laps to go, coming to 24. Will Hewitt still with the race lead.
Well, Steve, I was going to ask you if you think they're pushing, but I think the last couple of replays kind of proved that. So I don't know. Maybe they're pushing too hard, though.
Yeah, it's definitely hammer down time, but here's the thing, too. I think that they've all made their stops recently enough. Again, we're talking lap 79 at the latest, 78 maybe at the latest for the lead lap cars. You saw at the end of that long green flag run at the midsection of the race, Domain was starting to lose his advantage over the rest of the field. But I think they're in a position now where they've got just enough to make it to the end while pushing as hard as they are. Still be okay, but I'll tell you, it seems like the dirty air is really affecting Brandon Domain. He can get up close within a couple of car lengths of Will Hewitt, but can't really press the issue that hard.
Could be exactly it, too, Steve. You know, maybe that's why they push so hard off the start to get that position and just stay out ahead.
Well, I heard in one of the podcasts this week talks about the Goodyear tire that the Next Gen Cup car has, and that it needs a certain amount of, I guess you could call it downforce, into the racetrack for it to be effective and actually provide grip. Otherwise, it sits on top of the racetrack, which obviously if they're using gravity, they're going to be on top of it. But the kind of terminology is if the car feels in the racetrack, that's when it's really gripped up and does what you want it to do. If you're in dirty air like Domain is right now, the nose of that race car is not getting the downforce that it truly needs. May not have the grip, might be tight in the middle of the corner in behind the 33. So that could be the struggle that Domain has right now. He's real loose though, because you see that right happen. Hewitt goes up top of the racetrack, puts all the air on the nose of Domain's car, and all of a sudden it turns. So that's a risky run too. You go tight, loose, depending on where that dirty air is.
That was perfect timing to show exactly what you're talking about there, Steve.
It's like you knew it was going to happen. We are live, folks. This is not a tape delay. $20 to go. Hewitt still out in front. Now puts 3/10 on Domain. Check back on P3. Corey Deal starting to stretch it out over Derek Welch. He had a scary moment a couple of laps ago off of 2. Got crossed up, kept it out of the wall. Lost some track position. Looks like Chris Goins has taken over the lucky dog spot from Alfie Charon. Look at all these cars off of turn 2. Charon a little loose, has to save it.
Straight sideways. Both ways.
See visually how far out in front Hewitt and Domain are over Corey Deal and the rest of the field. It's about a half a straightaway. Gotta say though, one mistake out of both of these guys That's all it's going to take. Real loose off of 4, Derek Welch. Gathers it up. Does a good job, but that's going to kill his chances here with 17 laps to go. He had to get way out of the throttle. Side by side with Dummermuth, 3 wide, and there's some contact off of turn 2. Sean Roberts in this mix as well. PJ Cox in behind. They all get through without major incident.
How did they not wrap it right there?
I thought it was going to be caution number 3 for sure. It just didn't materialize. Back out front, battle for the lead, shaping back up. You got to wonder if Domain found a way to cool the tires because he's back to charge. Looking to the inside, Hewitt up the racetrack. 15.5 laps to go down the back straightaway. Hewitt clears Domain once again. It's a car length and a half back to the 60. Hewitt has been close many times this season to securing a victory here in the Lone Star Racing Cup Series. Hasn't been able to lock one home just yet. I'll tell you though, Brandon Domain is going to be devastated if he can't get by the 33. Such a strong car all afternoon long. Likely has secured the most laps led. I don't know if Hewitt's got a chance to knock him out of that spot.
Yeah, I think Brandon's the little bit faster car, but I mean, every time he tries to pass him low side in 1 and 2, he just loses so much ground coming off the corner.
Yeah, last lap Domain just under a 10th quicker. But I think he's going to need to be a lot quicker to get by that 33 machine. He's going to be aggressive in defending. You see, he takes the lane away a little bit there, does Hewitt. 13 laps to go at the stripe.
Every time, too, Steve, that one of these two cars changes their lane and drives a little bit slower of a line, look who's coming in that 3rd position.
Yeah, Corey Deal ran a 32 flat, 10.5 quicker than both of our leaders. I don't know if he's got enough time, but if these two come together, you never know. Corey Deal could just be there to pick up the scraps.
Not to mention, Corey's not even in the draft, and he's still closing.
Oh, these
Pretty
guys are
impressive.
racing hard. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Oh, a little bit loose for Hewitt. He almost put it in the grass.
Brandon wants that high side.
Well, that's the thing. I'm surprised we haven't seen Domain try to switch it up, run topside, try to build a run. I know Will might try to block that. We saw him do it to Corey Deal earlier on.
Ooh, both cars loose.
Domain back to the bottom, gets alongside of Hewitt through 3 and 4. Turns it down to the bottom of the racetrack a little bit further. Still tucks back in behind, 11 to go.
Look at the ground he's going to lose coming off 2 here.
Oh, real loose. Domain chasing it up the racetrack. He's got a lot of wheel in it. He's going to burn that right front up if he hasn't already. At the line, it's going to be 10 to go for Will Hewitt. Brandon Domain trying to find an answer to this problem that is the 33.
Thinking of the
Oh, real loose. He's in the wall.
That's all it takes.
You know, I want to say that's it, but I don't know.
Corey Deal checked up a little bit there to stay away from it too. You could see he fell back just a little.
Hewitt ran a 31.05. That is that's as fast as the day. My bad. It's like, how did he do that? His tires are old.
How hurt is that 60 car?
Well, that's the thing. I don't really know that it truly is. I'll try to get a good look. Right front's got a little bit of damage. Yeah, right side's pancake pretty good.
Oh, might be out just a little bit.
It's kind of thinking that him being further back would put a little more clean air on the nose of that machine, but he might have some right front damage there. I think his chances out of this one have slipped away for Brandon Domain. He's got less than 8 laps to go. Corey Deal starting to close in. Last lap for Domain at 32.44. Fastest car in the top 3, it's Corey Deal. Chris Goins making it look good. Looks like he's top 5, but he's just P10. Unable to get that lap back. Oh, ooh. Corey Deal on the fence. You saw him wiggling it off of turn number 2.
Guys are pushing.
Wants that second spot from Brandon Domain. Ken Blackburn in the pits. Ken Couch, Drew Blaze have been in the pits. I gotta wonder though, when was Blackburn in the pits last? Did he top off? This is just fuel. Fuel only for Ken Blackburn with 6 laps to go. Do these guys have enough to make it to the end? Will Hewitt's last pit stop was at lap 79.
It's got to be tight. Real tight.
And that would put him at 46 laps to make it to the finish.
Running fast laps. He's not lifted any.
He might just have enough, because you look at when they made their pit stops at lap 78, 79. That was after a lap 30 pit stop, lap 32 restart. That was 47 to 49 laps, depending on how you want to do the math on that. So they might be okay. 3 to go.
Bill's just got to stay nice and smooth here and just pray for no caution.
Corey Deal still running that Larson line through the middle of 1 and 2. Big wiggle for the 9. I gotta wonder if Corey's kind of running into the same issue that Brandon was having, just being now in dirty air on a little bit older tires. Taking a little downforce off the nose of that car. Real loose off of 2 again.
I think that's what it is, Steve, because he was catching both of them real quick, and then all of a sudden just basically stopped.
Will Hewitt well in command, hoping to get to the white flag before a yellow. He is going to do just that. Last lap here from Atlanta. Will Hewitt takes the white flag. Started in 8th position here this afternoon. It's been a challenger all season long. Finally gets the nose out in the wind. Strips this win away, it looks like, from Brandon Domain. He's got a half a lap to go to secure the checkered flag. Comfortably and calmly through turns 3 and 4. Will Hewitt can't find his phone, but he's going to find victory lane. Checkered flag. Will Hewitt is going to win the Hot Atlanta 125. Brandon Domain, P2. Corey Deal, 3rd. Chris Klein, Sean Roberts, the rest of your top 5.
Great job to this 33 crew, man. Great strategy. Good
Definitely
race.
a feel-good win for the 33. Good to see him get this one. And Will's been around a while. We've been watching him since the SCAR days. Always a contender over there. Matt Sisler, well earned for Will Hewitt, 100%. He definitely did earn that one, 100%.
Definitely.
Getting on by Brandon Domain and then defending that for quite some time very successfully. Got the fence 3 or 4 times here tonight. Still pulls it off.
Gonna have enough gas for a burnout here too.
There it is. What do you think, Zach? Is he going to try and pull a Larson here or what?
I don't know if he's got the gas to do that.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
Will Hewitt, your race winner here from Atlanta. We're going to jump out here, get a break out of the way, and have our top three finishers. Will Hewitt, Brandon Domain, Corey Deal in the booth after this. Stay with us.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, A Hotlanta 125 in the books, and Will Hewitt taking the checkered flag here tonight. Let's get a word with the driver of the number 33. Will Hewitt, it's Steve and Zach in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You with us?
What up?
Hey, buddy. Congratulations on an awesome win here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was tough going out there tonight. You got in the wall a bunch of times, but it didn't deter you. You took the lead here late and would not give it up to Brandon Domain, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, man, I the whole race I was just burning tires up, and it took me till the end of that race there to figure out how to save them well enough to maintain a lead. And yeah, at least the cars are pretty strong and can take a little bit of a beating.
Certainly what we've noticed here with this new next-gen Cup car is you can get it in the fence a couple of times and still be able to maintain the pace that you had before, especially if it's just the right rear, which is odd because usually the toe link breaks here in the real world, but not the case here, at least at this point for you. Works out pretty good. What was the strategy as far as tires coming into tonight? You only made, I think, 2 pit stops, so you had an extra set over the wall still?
Yeah, well, that last caution there, I mean, I was good to the end there, even without the caution, so I was banking on that, but I was going to do what everyone else did, and everyone in the front stayed out, so I stayed out and chanced it, and I think I was able to pit a couple laps later than them before that.
Well, either way, an awesome performance. I had to break your stones a bit about your phone again, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate incident. Never going to lock my phone in a room again.
Well, either way, a job well done here tonight. Next week, a track that everybody loves and loves to hate, Talladega Super Speedway. Are we going to see you next week, too?
Yeah, I'll try to make it out. I'm not crazy about super speedways, these cars, but I guess just to try to get a win, it'll be a good time. But tonight, I'm definitely slamming some beers.
Among other things.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, congratulations, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I just want to thank the admins of the league for putting this stuff together. You guys for putting on a good broadcast. I hope you saw the 3 wide move I made on the last restart, because that scared me, and I was doing it. So
we saw a lot of 3 wide tonight. I think we caught it. I don't remember.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just want to thank all of you guys for making this happen.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
Will Hewitt, your race winner here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, since you keep talking about Texas, Zach, I keep trying not to say Texas.
I know it. I can't get it out of my head either.
Oh, Lord. Well, Brandon Domain's going to be next. This is certainly a tough pill to swallow for Brandon Domain. It's Steve and Zach in the booth. You got us?
Hey, I do.
Brandon, congratulations, man. An awesome performance here tonight. It seemed that clean air was certainly king out this evening. Was that kind of what you felt out there when you were running second behind Will Hewitt? Because the first parts of this race, you were lights out.
Yeah, it was that. I mean, once that caution came out, there was a whole bunch of different strategies that started coming to mind. You know, you wonder if a caution's going to come out and you're going to get those tires late. You're wondering if you got enough fuel. Honestly, I kind of saw how aggressive he was there, and I kind of got a little too cute for my own good and thought maybe I can just ride behind him and push him enough. Maybe he'll burn up his tires and make it where I can get back around after a while. And just the air made that really hard. And I think it was like 12 laps to go. I kind of had a run and got into the air just enough that kind of got me a little bit loose and clipped the wall and actually had wheel damage for the last 12 laps there. So really kind of overthought that one for sure, but he did a heck of a job keeping that thing up front, that's for sure.
Well, it was interesting, too, is after that incident with yourself there in the wall, we saw you start to slip back to Corey Deal, but as he got closer to you, it seemed like the dirty air became his problem. You were able to hold off the 9 there to maintain that second spot.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of curious. I was kind of just sitting there like, all right, maybe I can hang on to third at least and still get up here. But, yeah, I don't, I think that's the thing that it's the common complaint, I guess, with the next-gen cars is how much the air really is a determining factor in these cars. It's so hard to make passes at these intermediate tracks, even with how much tire wear we're getting at a track like Atlanta. But yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of maybe it hurt me on trying to get back up front, but it saved me for second, that's for sure.
Well, certainly it's interesting because this next-gen car was kind of developed with many things in mind, but trying to make it so that the dirty air wasn't as big of a problem. And it seems that further we go along with this car, the worse that issue has become. But hopefully they get that figured out. Though next week at Talladega Super Speedway, yeah, you're going to run into some dirty air, but I think it's going to be more about the drivers that are left and right and front and back of you. How do you feel about Super Speedway racing?
I mean, typically I'm either wrecker or sitting there up in contention for it. So it's going to be kind of just feel it out and see what happens. And I'm typically going to be one of those guys that just kind of sees what goes on out there. I kind of like riding in the back sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I think with races like that, you just kind of get used to throw everybody's name in a hat, shake it up, and see who comes out at the end.
All right, Brandon. Well, again, a job well done here tonight. I think you might have had the most laps led. Couldn't take that checkered flag, but P2 will have to work. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I mean, just like last time, it's still just me. There's no teammates, nothing like that. So appreciate y'all up in the booth for sure. Like I said last time, I know that's a lot of work and a lot of time and energy, so it's definitely appreciated. And everybody at Lonestar, I jumped over here for GT3, and this is, I think, my 4th race on the Cup side, and I've had a great time. It's been a lot of fun, so definitely look forward to running here every week, and it's been a great time.
All right, Brandon. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
All right, I appreciate it.
It's Brandon Domain, your runner-up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to the real deal, Corey Deal. Pull the driver of the 9 into the broadcast booth. Get a word. If I can get him up here, hang on. Corey Deal, it's Steve and Zach in the booth. You with us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's turn you up here. I can barely hear you.
My bad.
There we go. Corey, a solid 3rd place finish. I know it's not what you were looking for. I'm sure you wanted to be P2 or even better. But was it a 12th place qualifying effort? One of the biggest movers here tonight, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, couldn't get my sim to load, and so I didn't really get any practice, and I just went out there in qualifying to see what happened, and would have had a better qualifying position, but I decided to smack the wall out of 2, and I was like, oh, well, this is going to get a little loose and a little fun, so let's just save tires all race, and that's what it boiled down to. Just rode around, saved tires, was hoping for a P1 to end up, but, or a P2, to continue the streak, but, P3 was pretty good. I mean, I just burned my stuff up too early, trying to get through all that traffic, and then try to save a little bit, try to stay ahead of Derek and ahead of I think it was Alfie and Chris. They were battling, so I was just trying to keep the clean air, and then they started battling, closed up on them, and the dirty air just defeated me.
So a couple of questions. We want to ask about that last pit stop at lap 88. It looked like it was just a splash and go. Were you in a situation where you weren't going to make it?
I actually apparently merged a little too early when I come out behind Brandon, and it gave me a black flag for stop and go. So I had to come back down and stop and go, and that's whenever, thankfully, the caution came out, and I got the lucky dog.
Very good. That sums up that one. Second question, though, we saw after the issue with Brandon Domain, he got in the fence chasing down Will Hewitt. Started to come back to you, but it seemed that the same issue he was having with Will was the issue that you were having with him, and that's dirty air. Was that kind of the case? You got there and kind of couldn't burst that bubble?
Yeah, I tried to move different lanes. I tried going outside in 1 and 2, like even higher, and I was catching up a little bit, but once we went down the back stretch, it stayed at 0.4, 0.5, and then went off into 3 and 4, and it's just like nothing ever changed. I was even trying to drive it in deeper, and I think he was driving in easier and getting off better than I was, and it just stayed 0.5, and I could not catch. Then I caught the wall and just said, okay, I'm just going to settle here before I try to wreck myself.
Well, they say one race at a time. This one's in the books. Next week, it's Talladega Super Speedway. How do you feel about your chances out at the Super Speedway next week?
Well, I love Talladega. I'm excited, but this one probably will be the last race for me this season because I have a change of work schedule next week and will be missing Talladega for the finale. Makes me a little upset because I was hoping to really finish out the season strong, stay in the top 5 in points. I was battling with Drew throughout the whole season, but like I said, just had a family emergency, one race, missed it, and then now I'm gonna miss Talladega due to just work schedule, and it sucks, but it's been a very fun season, and I thank everybody for definitely helping me and running with me and being clean and everything.
All right, well, give me a phone number. Tell them your sponsor wants to call you out of work for a night, just in case. You know what I mean?
I sure would.
I'll make it believable, promise. Well, Corey, again, congratulations, man. It's tough that you're not going to be here next week. It's been a solid season. We certainly appreciate running the HBR TV colors all season long. Aside from that, though, who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I mean, could always call out, cough, cough, I'm sick, I can't do
see?
it.
I was going to call your work and say we arrested you, and then the next day we'll call him back and say, hey, we just want to clear things up. It was the wrong guy. It had nothing to do with him. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I want to thank you for, coming on board all season. I've really enjoyed representing your HBR TV and everything. The broadcasts are beautiful. I'm glad to have you on board. I want to thank Lonestar for allowing me to join up mid-season and just helping me learn. Like, Drew's been a big help helping me learn on how to save tires with these cars, because they are a handful. Thank you again for putting on the broadcast. I know I said that a second ago, but I got to thank the broadcaster. Like I said, it's magnificent work, and I'm sure Zach did a heck of a job helping out. Thanks to the fans. We wouldn't do this we do it for you guys. I'm always here for the fans. I'm always here for everybody watching at home. I just really appreciate everybody that rooted me on if you did, and if you didn't, oh well, I don't care. I'm kidding. But I just really appreciate everybody coming out, and Drew and Justin and you for putting this on. It's just been a very fun season. I hate to end off on a third place. I was hoping for a win because I thought it was mine, but you just got to race the race.
All right, Corey, old man, thanks for talking to us again. A good season, a great season, and we look forward to the next one, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's Corey Deal, your P3 finisher here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Definitely doesn't sound as happy as he did the last couple of weeks. I know it's a solid finish, but man, he really wanted to get up there and contend for that win, but it is what it is. You can't win them all. Sometimes you only win one. Let's take a look at the race results, though. We talked to our top three: Will Hewitt, Brandon Domain, Corey Deal. Then P4 was Chris Klein. Sean Roberts, a solid P5. PJ Cox, Derek Welch, 6th and 7th. Tim Dummermuth, 8th. 9th was Chris Goins. Alfie Charon, P10. Tommy Kohick was 11th. Jonathan Arnn, 12th. Jarrett Woodard, 13th. Ken Blackburn was 14th. Ken Couch, 15th. Tough break for Drew Blaze. He was 16th. Mark Collins, last but not least, in that 17th position. 71 laps down. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for all in the stream chat. Again, we are a little off schedule this week. I had to do some travel for the day job. Wasn't able to do any broadcasting until tonight. So we're going to do a makeup broadcast, tape delay. The race did happen Tuesday for the Numb Thumbs Racing League. We're going to tune in tomorrow night, probably about 8 o'clock. Might go off sooner. I'll try to keep you guys posted. We'll get it set up on hbrtv1.com, as well as YouTube, of course, to watch it there. And then Saturday, we've also got the Great Lakes Sim Racing League, I think they're running Xfinity cars at Daytona. Again, I'm way behind. I got to do my research. I got homework to do. But Downrange Transport, the sponsor of that series, their premier series. I hear it was a pretty good one. Big-time fireworks at the finish. So we're going to try and get that one off late afternoon on Saturday, maybe sooner. Same thing. We'll try to keep everybody posted. So if you need some overtime or extra action as far as HBR TV is concerned, Friday and Saturday, you'll be able to tune us in. We are off on Sunday. Thank the Lord. We've got the Monaco Grand Prix Sunday morning, then of course the Indy 500 in the midday, and then the Coke 600 that evening. So I'll be glued to my television and not broadcasting all day long on Sunday. So what about you, Zach? You working? You gonna watch a race or what?
That is the best day of the entire year. I look forward to that every single year, and yeah, I'm gonna be glued to the TV. I'll probably be on Discord with you most of the day and watching everything racing. Can't wait.
Race Fan Christmas is what we'd like to call it, or something like that.
It is. Best day ever.
That's going to wrap it up for us here, Zach. Thanks for jumping in the booth here, volunteering your time. Once in a while, we'll pay you for these things, but sorry, not tonight.
Hey, no big deal, man. Happy to be here.
Haley says goodnight, Steve, and everyone, including Zach. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Take care. Have a good night.